Hello. So, it is time for week 6 of UBL Season 9. This time we're against a familiar opponent, we're against Eris, the Fairfax for Alligators. They got a really strong team here. So things ain't gonna be easy. They got Great Tusk, Talonflame, Bishop, Rigoreth, Toxtricity, Bramblghast, Morgrim, Willfish, Wigglytuff, Rotom Normal form, the ghost one, and Riolu. There's a lot of power in this team. Great speed control, because obviously they've got Talonflame, but also Tusk can just run boost speed and still do really good damage. As well as having Bishop for Defiant, to kind of prevent that sort of game plan. Vigoroth, as you can see on screen, has been amazing for them. It's done a ton of work for them. So, Toxtricity, still pretty scary Pokemon. Bramblghast pairs really well with the Talonflame. Morgrim for screen support and Fake Out, which is something I have to consider. Willfish, pretty decent Pokemon as well. And then a couple kind of at the end that I'm not too worried about. So, things aren't going to be easy. Things like Great Tusk are a pain to kill, if not ready for, especially given the right support. So we've kind of got to play. We've got to play to our outs here. So, the thing that I do want to try and go for though is Trick Room. I think Copperajah looks great in this game. I'm gonna be honest, I'm looking at this EV spread and I think it's ass. I don't know why it's got all the HP and not split into defenses, because that should be how it is. But here we are. It's post commentary, so can't do anything about it. Iron Head, Rock Slide, Brick Break, and Protect is the moveset with a Life Orb, Sheer Force, and then Terra Flying. Terra Flying for Great Tusk. It's just in general, it's great against it. But the main thing here is Iron Head plus Rock Slide actually hits their entire team for really, really good damage, except for Bishop, which is why we're carrying Brick Break. So obviously the main thing it doesn't really deal well with is Great Tusk. But Trick Room setup does quite well against Great Tusk, so as long as we can get that Trick Room set up, of course. So I think Copperajah can do really, really well here. Just do a ton of damage into just a lot of their different Pokemon, and hopefully be able to clean up and win the game for us. As said, oh my, voice crack. As said, our Trick Room setup does really well into Great Tusk, our hat. Our Trick Room, Protect, Dazzling Gleam, and Psychic with Covert Cloak and Terra Water. Very normal hat. I think I'm running, yeah, I am, yeah, the 1 point speed difference. I always forget that the hat's 29 and Cop's 30. Base speed, that is. So, very normal hat. Covert Cloak, just in case they want to try and go for Morgrim Fake Out as a lead option. I want to be able to cover it. And then, to cover for things like Bishop, I've got Terra Water to resist the steal and try and get up our Trick Room. So, hopefully we can do that quite easily. Next up, we've got our Houndstone. He's back, but not quite as offensive as you would expect. He's more of a supportive mon here, and still deal good damage, don't get me wrong. But with a fast Will-O-Wisp that outspeeds a ton of their Pokemon, in Sand of course, we can do some really nice supporting. Obviously, Ally Switch is really nice as well. Body Press can do good damage to a ton of different Pokemon. The main thing is, like, obviously Houndstone can't really do a lot into Great Tusk. It's not great into Bishop other than Body Press specifically, which we've got Terra Fighting, so we can Terra out of a weakness. Obviously Vigoroth is a normal type as well, so we can't really last respects that. So, it's more of a supportive Pokemon here. But that's not necessarily meaning it's bad. Houndstone is, it's relatively bulky. And with fast Will-O-Wisp and Ally Switch protecting, well, the ally, as well as still being able to threaten in the last respects, I think it's still really solid here. Next up is Booster Energy Speed Iron Bundle. Now you might think, what on earth are you trying to outspeed? Like, you outspeed Talonflame already. The main thing here is actually against, this outspeeds Great Tusk and Tailwind, which is really, really nice. Which is definitely a lead I was worried about, was Talonflame, Great Tusk. This outspeeds Great Tusk and Tailwind, so we can, even if they set up a Tailwind, we can just take that thing out, no problem. Not even have to worry about it. We've got Terra Water to remove the ice weaknesses. More defensive than offensive. It's not really trying to use Hydro Pump to try and kill things. It's more so just to reduce our weaknesses, get rid of the fighting weaknesses. That's the main one, really. So we can take a hit from Great Tusk. Because Bundle has good natural defense, it can take a hit from, like, a not super offensive Great Tusk. Might even be able to take like a max attack close combat after we go for Terra Water, just because Bundle's got good defense. So, but otherwise, good speed control, does good damage. It's good old Bundle. Next up, Sash Medi. We don't need to go max speed here. There's no reason to. We're just outspeeding. It's called Bishop. So Fake Out, Bullet Punch, Close Combat, and Set Headbutt. Bullet Punch is really nice for just picking things off, especially things like Morgrim if they choose to bring it as well, but just generally it's really nice. And the dual stab of Close Combat plus Sinner Headbutt is quite nice into a lot of their team. You know, there's Toxtricity, there's Bishop, even Farigiraf will not appreciate Close Combat. Obviously the main thing here is Talonflame, but also we have Bullet Punch to break the Gale Wings if needed, so it's not too bad. Obviously, it will go for Tailwind first, but, you know, we've still got Fake Out as well. So, and then Terra Rock for a defensive typing. I'm not really sure why, to be honest. I guess mainly for Talonflame. That makes sense. So, yeah, not too bad. Still think it's pretty decent, and what we're going to be going for if we try and go for Trick Room. So, especially combined with our last Pokemon, Tyranitar. Tyranitar is only going for enough speed to outspeed a no-speed Bishop here. With an Air Balloon, it means that we can avoid any Earthquake spam. They've got to go for a fighting move in which we can go for Terra Flying, and then we're really not afraid of stupid Great Tusk. With Crunch, Rock Slide, and Break, similar to Paparaja, it does really well. Obviously, just fighting plus Rock does really well into their team. And then just having a stab that hits really hard into things like Farigiraf, mostly. But even then, just like the rest of the coverage does really well. And the whole plan here is use Bundle to try and take out Great Tusk early, because we'll be faster than it, and then the rest of our Pokemon in the back can take it out, or make sure Bundle's in the back if we're going for like a Trick Room lead. And then take it out later on when, like, the main things that we've got that are trying to kill it are like Paparaja or Titar. So let's get into this game. So we see their team, and we see probably most of the things that we expect here. There's no Morgrim, which is nice. No Bramblegast. Those are the main things that I would say didn't come. No Morgrim's nice. That means Covert Cloak on Hat isn't really useful, but I do like Trick Room here, so that's what we're going to be going for in this game 1. We're going to try and go for Trick Room with Paparaja. So, oh, we got it on fast still. So they lead Farigiraf and Bishop, which is pretty good. They go for a Terra Fighting here, but I'm like, alright, well, I can just go for Fake Out here into the Bishop, and then Hat will live any hits, and then, you know, we'll be fine. We'll be able to set up our Trick Room. I'm the dumbest idiot on the planet, because I forgot about Armor Tail. So Armor Tail ignores blocks priority, similar to Queenly Majesty, and so Fake Out does not work. So if I was going to do this, I would have had to Terra Water. And instead, I lose my Hat, and my Medi goes down to essentially Sash. So, I bring up Bundle because our last Pokemon is going to be a TR setter, and you'll see which one, TR sweepers, and you'll see which one in a sec. You can probably take a guess. So we're going to go for Bundle early and try and, you know, come back into this somehow. I save Medi for the fake out pressure, and because I'm mostly expecting a Psychic into that slot. We go for the Terra Water. Oh, sorry, reset it. We go for Terra Water. This time for offense, but also we do get to ignore the weakness to Break, but they just take us out with Dazzling Gleam instead. So, obviously here we've got to worry about we can't go for Fake Out, but we can just close combat, because we outspeed both Pokemon. So we can take out the Bisharp. They just try and get greedy here with a nasty plot, but Paraja will say no to that and give them an Iron Head for their troubles. So, unfortunately, they have Quillfish in the back here, which is able to outspeed and take out Medicham, and also intimidate Copperaja. We don't have a Terror, and as a result, stupid Great Tusk comes in the end and wins the game anyway, which is what we wanted to avoid happening. So, that sucked. So, going into game 2, I'm not nearly as confident in Trick Room now, because guess who forgot about Armor Tail in prep. So, this one we're going to make a bit of a different adjustment here, and actually choose to lead T-Tar Houndstone, trying to have it as a support Pokemon. They choose to lead Toxtricity plus Great Tusk, which is really odd to me, but like, I'm not complaining too much, because it means that we can go for a Houndstone Will-O-Wisp into this Great Tusk, and T-Tar will then be pretty safe. We've got the Balloon. We try and go for the Will-O-Wisp, and unfortunately, we do miss, which is really sucky. They go for an Overdrive, which puts us into Citrus range. I'm like, cool, that's not too bad. We can take another hit, no problem. I go for it again, I believe here. No, I go for it at the Ally Switch. So we do get to live, and then we miss a Rock Slide here on the Quillfish, so things aren't going well this game. We will try and Will-O-Wisp to at least take out the stupid Quillfish. The lower Tyranitar's attack even more, and it's just not going well. It's not going well this game. We haven't done very much damage. We've got Hat in the back here, and we try and go for the Terra Water here. They go for a T-Wave, but then they just go for Overdrive. I was expecting a Poison type move. I didn't even think about the fact that this could be choiced. Not once. Turns out that entire time, I was like, okay, yeah, that's pretty good damage. That's Punk Rock Overdrive. That's Specs. I thought Specs would have been doing more, and as a result, I was just like, nah, this thing isn't choiced. It's probably like maybe Sash, maybe it could be a boosting item. There's no way it's Specs. No, that thing's Specs. So, yeah, that just leaves us in the back with, I think, yeah, Copperaja, which is not going to be enough to take on the remainder of their Pokemon. We're able to take out Toxtricity, but Great Tusk gets to come in here and just clean us up. So, but not even Great Tusk gets to do it, because friggin' Quillfish outsped. So, yeah, that game 2 was unfortunate. Game 1, we played like ass. Like, no questions asked. I just didn't even think about Armor Tail. Game 2 was super unfortunate. We missed a Will-O-Wisp on Great Tusk, which would have kept us really far ahead. Obviously, we don't get to see what their last Pokemon here is. But, like, it meant that we were so far behind, and just not thinking about choice specs either. Most likely at that point I was just on tilt because of the Will-O-Wisp miss, so... And then the Rock Slide miss didn't really help either on the Quillfish, because Quillfish would have been dead a lot earlier. So... yeah. Things didn't go to plan for this one. Eris ends up winning this one, which if you end up watching week 1 of Season 10, which is already out at this point, I actually said in that one that we lost to Eris twice in a row. We lost some in Season 8 and Season 9. So, yeah, this is what happened here. Not a great showing from us. So yeah, we still need one more win to actually guarantee us into playoffs. So, we'll see if we can do that in these last couple weeks. Hopefully so, because otherwise, I'd be upset if we didn't make it into playoffs. So, regardless, GG's to Eris. Obviously, if you saw the season 10, then you know what happens there. But if you haven't, go watch that, because that set's incredible. So yeah. This one, not so much. This one, I mostly played like ass and I got hacked, so I didn't deserve to just win this one slightest. So that'll be it for this one. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace.